Abraham had walked with God for many years, obeying his voice and trusting in his promises. But nothing could have prepared him for the test that lay ahead. One night, the Lord spoke to him, calling his name. "Abraham." "Here I am," Abraham answered, his heart always ready to listen to his God. Then came the command that struck him to the core. "Take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah. Offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will show you." The words must have felt like a dagger to Abraham's soul. Isaac was the child of promise, the son through whom God had said he would make Abraham's descendants as numerous as the stars. And yet, now God was asking him to give up this very son. The pain in Abraham's heart was immense, but he did not question God. He had learned that obedience, even when it did not make sense, was the path of faith. Early the next morning, without hesitation, Abraham rose and saddled his donkey. He took 2 of his young servants with him, and most importantly, Isaac. The boy, full of life and laughter, was unaware of the sorrow weighing down his father's heart. Abraham split wood for the burnt offering, his hands moving with purpose, though his mind wrestled with the weight of the command. For 3 days they travelled toward Moriah. The journey must have been silent at times. Abraham lost in thought, his heart torn between love for his son and trust in his God. As they neared the place God had shown him, Abraham turned to his servants. "Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there to worship, and then we will return to you." Did Abraham truly believe they would both return? Was he clinging to the hope that God would intervene? He had faith that God could even raise the dead if necessary, but he did not know how this would unfold. He simply obeyed. Isaac carried the wood for the offering on his back, while Abraham carried the fire and the knife. As they walked, Isaac turned to his father. "Father?" "Yes, my son?" "The fire and the wood are here, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" The question pierced Abraham's heart, but his voice remained steady. "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." Isaac accepted the answer, trusting his father just as Abraham trusted God. They reached the place God had designated, and Abraham built an altar there, arranging the wood carefully. Then, with a heavy heart, he turned to Isaac. What words passed between them in that moment? Did Isaac resist? Did he cry out in fear? Scripture does not tell us, but Isaac must have seen the unwavering faith in his father's eyes, for he allowed himself to be bound. Abraham laid his beloved son on the altar, atop the wood. With trembling hands, he reached for the knife. His heart pounded, every fiber of his being screaming against what he was about to do. But his faith held firm. He raised the knife, ready to slay his son as God had commanded. Then, at the last moment, a voice rang out from heaven. "Abraham, Abraham." He froze, the knife hovering in the air. "Here I am," he answered. "Do not lay a hand on the boy," the angel of the Lord said. "Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." Relief flooded Abraham's soul as he lowered the knife. His eyes lifted, and there, caught in a thicket by its horns, was a ram. God had provided the sacrifice. With overwhelming gratitude, Abraham untied Isaac, and together they offered the ram in place of the boy. He named the place, "The Lord will provide," and to this day, it is said, "On the mountain of the Lord it will be provided." Then the angel of the Lord called to Abraham again, "Because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I swear by myself that I will bless you abundantly. Your descendants will be as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. They will take possession of the gates of their enemies, and through your offspring all nations on earth will be blessed because you have obeyed me." With his heart full of awe and gratitude, Abraham returned to his servants, and together they journeyed back home, Isaac walking beside him, alive, spared, and chosen as part of God's great plan.